Depo Talk, Depo Talk. Another topic broken down on Depo Talk. Wonder what it could be. Let's check in with Jan and Rosalie.
Welcome to Depo Talk with Veritext principals Jan Ballman and Rosalie Kramm. Each episode looks at a deposition or proceeding-related topic of the day through the lens of two industry veterans with over 80 combined years of experience. And now, without further delay, we are on the record. Take it away, Jan and Rosalie.
Happy holidays and welcome to Depo Talk. I'm Jan Ballman and I'm coming to you from the winter wonderland, otherwise known as Minneapolis.
And I'm Rosalie Kramm, coming to you from sunny, glorious San Diego.
Rosalie, clearly I'm going to die on this hill. So 'tis the season. 'Tis the season when we hit the refresh button and make some goals for the new year. Now, I know New Year's resolutions can feel a little overrated, but did you know that people who make New Year's resolutions tend to be more optimistic about their future?
Well, Jan, I do know that it doesn't surprise me at all that it reminds me of the famous quote from Helen Keller, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. And I really, truly believe that if you are optimistic and you have goals, set goals, there's no reason why your life can't be better and you can't be just happier.
Right. You have to believe to be able to achieve them, right? But I can honestly say that the most successful people I know, they're all optimists. So there's definitely a connection there between optimism and success. As well, Rosalie, research has proven that having temporal landmarks, such as New Year's resolutions, motivates aspirational behaviors. Let me say that again. Temporal landmarks motivate aspirational behaviors. So then it makes total sense, doesn't it, that those who make New Year's resolutions are 10 times more likely to change their behavior as desired than those who don't make any.
Absolutely, Jan. That's what all the experts say.
So, in the spirit of optimism, which we now know goes hand in hand with success, let's give ourselves 10 times the chance of being better than we were before in 2024 by exploring some relevant resolutions for reporters and videographers to consider as we leverage the insanely powerful fresh start effect that comes with a new year. You ready for that?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Now, it did take some effort to pare down a list of possible goals just to our top 5. But alas, we're ready for the reveal. So Rosalie, counting down like we do on New Year's Eve, get us started by revealing resolution number 5.
Number 5, Jan, is declutter your court reporting world. So what does that mean? That means everything from your computer machine bag, get rid of all the little pieces of paper, perhaps organize any paper clips that are in there, and just get it all ready for the new year. That means decluttering your desktop. I know I like to scan all my exhibits and I put them in different folders on the desktop. And last week I was just getting lost with all these witness names. I don't like to necessarily delete the folders for a while because the case might come back, I might need those old exhibits. So what I've been doing is just creating new folders with the case name and sticking the witness deposition exhibits in that one big folder, just trying to make the desktop easier to maneuver around. And I was reading an expert suggestion yesterday, and she suggests that you name file folders in a conventional way that makes sense to your brain. So sometimes you might use a date, sometimes you might use the last name or the beginning name of a document. So as opposed to having different ways of naming documents, just have one way and then go back and rename old documents, perhaps in the past. So in 2 or 3 years, you're able to find things that you need, not just having to do with court reporting, but just everything you have in your real world as far as documents are concerned. And then, of course, we have our desk, declutter the desk. I know that sometimes it might seem overwhelming if there's a lot of stuff on it. It causes anxiety if you can't find something that you just know is there. Declutter. And one expert says what you need to do, or a suggestion, is to have 4 boxes and make some time and just take everything that's on your desk and put in a box, a trash box, a recycle box, a giveaway box, and a keep box. And therefore, you're able to just take it all, put it in its particular, the box that's appropriate for whatever. And when I talk about recycle, I'm talking about things that perhaps at one time worked, particularly as a court reporter, maybe some old thumb drives or things you used to use. They still work, but they're pretty much worthless to you right now because you're just not using them anymore. So I think that it might be a good idea to either give them away to students if it's appropriate for a student, or somehow recycle them, but get them off your desk because you're not going to use it. And then once your desk is decluttered, I think it's nice to have perhaps some sensory joy that you can give yourself every day. And I was talking to my niece about this subject last week. She's 31 and works at a big company. And she says what young people are doing is they're buying little diffusers and they put them on their desk. I've had this in my closet for 2 years. So someone gave it to me. I'm going to start doing this. Basically, if you add some essential oil, for instance, they say rosemary is going to give you energy. You could use lavender to relax you. Perhaps you're extra anxious someday because either the language, the attorneys are talking too fast, whatever it is, just your day-to-day life. You could use different sensory essential oils, perhaps, to just lighten the mood or shift your mood. And another thing I'm going to do, I really like flowers. So I've got this little old vase. I'm going to put it on the side of my desk. And then on a Sunday, I'm going to either pick flowers or buy some little flowers. It doesn't have to be fancy, a big bouquet, just something on my desk, particularly freesias in the spring. They smell so great. And then on Monday morning, when I get to my desk, it's decluttered. I have a flower. Just help your mood. I might use a diffuser because it just adds to the whole experience. And I think for 2024, that might be a really nice idea just to make your life happier.
The essential oil thing is big with my daughters. They're really into it. And I do love the idea of walking into a completely reorganized, clean work environment. It does something for you in a very positive way. So that's a great one. It's a much needed probably for all of us. So excellent.
All right, Jen, what's next?
All right, I'm going to lead us to resolution number 4, which is encouraging reporters and videographers to explore resolving to get fiscally fit. You probably thought I was going to say physically fit because that's on everybody's list of New Year's resolutions, right? But I actually said fiscally fit or financially fit. So, our brethren who work at the courthouses across the country, they've got distinct advantages over us as freelancers from the financial standpoint of, first, they don't have to worry about paying quarterly taxes. Those monies are pulled from their paycheck. They never see it. They never feel it. Freelancers have to be extremely disciplined to set those monies aside and leave them alone. As well, officials have Uncle Sam contributing out of every paycheck to their retirement, whereas we freelancers have 3 people contributing, me, myself, and I. That's it. We are our retirement fund. So here are a few tips I've thought of to get into fiscal health in 2024. First, as far as those pesky quarterly taxes go, I think if you can separate those funds even physically in some fashion in a different bank, it used to be a lot easier when, we didn't have apps on our phone, tap it twice. Now you've transferred money from one bank to another. You used to have to physically go and move that money, but that was the idea, make it inconvenient. Get those funds completely separate and start thinking of them as exactly what they are. They're not your money. They're taboo. They are not to be touched. So figure out a way to separate those funds and leave them alone. Secondly, it is never too late or too early to start saving for retirement. Again, we are our retirement fund. If you haven't read the book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, highly recommend it. It was basically my professional Bible. So Darren Hardy teaches us that the magic of compound interest. He asks, would you rather I give you a penny that doubles every day for a month or $1 million up front? Most people will take the bird in the hand, the instant gratification, the seemingly large number. However, the power of compound interest says that if you take a penny and double it in 30 days, you will have $5.3 million, which is insane. So the younger you are, when you start saving for retirement, the more that compound interest works for you. But no matter what your age is, you do need to put money away. every paycheck for retirement. And if you haven't already done so, let's start with your first paycheck of the new year. As well, get a financial planner if you don't already have one. People think that, these are wealth managers, you need to have wealth, whatever that means, to hire them. No, a financial planner helps you plan your finances, and they'll get you where you need to be. They will help you have that money to pay your quarterly taxes, etc. And they love young clients because young clients grow into established clients. So don't be intimidated by that. Get yourself a financial planner, start saving for retirement, set aside those quarterly monies and don't touch them, and resolve to be more fiscally fit in 2024.
Wow.
And now back to you, Rosalie, for resolution number 3.
Number 3, how to be a positive influencer. I feel like there's so much negativity surrounding us. By the time you've looked at your Facebook pages or even Instagram, the whole world is full of negativity. And to be a positive influencer, I think, can not only shift how people think of you, but also it starts permeating out of who you are. So what do I mean by that? If we are looking at Facebook, for instance, and you are the type of a person who enjoys posting, post positive things, happy things, talk about a wonderful deposition you had. If you're in a deposition suite and you have an amazing view, share it with all of us. Take a photo and say, hey, guess what I got to see today? I'm the luckiest person in the world. And just keep the positivity coming out of your spirit. I know sometimes I might take for granted how hard our production department works or the calendar people work. And so I'm going to be more mindful of saying thank you and asking them, is there anything I could do to help you perform your job better? Is there anything I can do to help take some stress off you? As a positive influencer, not only are you putting out in the world positive messages, but you're also asking for positivity back, and it becomes a mirror, I think. So positivity in 2024, I think if we become mindful of what that means and you actually work on your brand. So when someone thinks of your name as a court reporter or as a person, they think of a person who emanates positivity, and just try hard, and sometimes it's hard, to block the negativity that surrounds us. Positivity in 2024.
Love it. Positive people hang out with positive people. And I think the reverse is true as well. Social media, oh my gosh, it's between that and the news, it's just fraught with negativity. And I will say one thing for sure, and that is positive influencers don't go there. They just don't go down that rabbit hole. They don't contribute to that negativity. So I think that's excellent advice and a wonderful resolution.
All right. So Jen, what's resolution number 2?
All right, Rosalie, number 2 is we propose that videographers and reporters explore resolving to commit to one big audacious goal, or BAG as we call them, each year. So when I was involved in WPO, which stands for Women Presidents Organization, in our January meeting, this was a tradition every year, we would create and commit to one big audacious goal. We'd seal it in an envelope. Nobody got to see it. You handed that envelope to the coach and you got it back in December. Then you'd go around the table. Each person would open one by one, open their envelope and reveal what their bag was and if they accomplished it. And it was really powerful. Talk about being a positive influencer. If you're a person who sets and meets goals every year, let alone big audacious goals, you become an influencer, because people who set goals and meet goals are admired and respected. Now, to qualify as a bag, a big audacious goal needs to be attainable, but definitely a stretch. It's like that stretch school you apply for, when you're applying for colleges, you put a couple safe ones in there, but you throw a couple, Harvard or Notre Dame in there as, I'd really like to go there. It's going to be a stretch. That's kind of the idea behind it. So it's something that is not going to happen without a ton of intentionality, discipline, and hard work. All right. So what might that mean for court reporters and vids? Well, how about adding a certification to your name? That is no small task. If you have 1 or 2, get another one. If you have 0, get that first one. I wish attorneys paid more attention to these, because they're an objective demonstrative of, your competence, but you know who does pay attention? Firm owners and your peers. Those initials mean something still in this industry. So maybe resolve to get one of those this year. Second suggestion might be go get certified in another state, which would have been a ridiculous resolution pre-COVID, but now, with a fair amount of remote depositions still taking place, if you become certified in states that require it, you could work there on those remote depositions. You could help them out. That could be a pathway to more work, and certainly more remote work. So who doesn't love working remotely and making more money? Another idea, join a professional organization. I've always belonged to our national and states, but about 15 years ago, I joined Minnesota Women Lawyers Association. And funny what happens, when you get involved and just jump in and help out. I'm actually today the president of the board of directors of the foundation. So amazing things happen when you get involved in professional organizations. Lastly, one big audacious goal for 2024 might be attend a court reporting convention, a national one, or a local one for that matter, but a national might be a BHAG because it costs a lot of money to attend, really. I mean, it's a commitment, but they're back. They need our attendance. And I promise you, you will learn a ton. You'll meet new people. You'll stock up on much, coveted CEUs. And I promise you will be glad you went.
Yes, and just to piggyback on that, Jan, I believe that if you volunteer to be on a committee or even to speak on a panel at a national convention or a state convention, you will go far as building your brand, becoming that positive influencer we talked about. And I promise you, as God is my witness, it will work for you in your career, and you're going to be a happier person and a more powerful court reporter.
Absolutely. So get involved in those legal associations. All right. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Please reveal, Rosalie, our #1 resolution for 2024.
Number 1, be a healthy court reporter, videographer. So what does that mean? Everybody says, oh gosh, I think I'm going to work out more, I'm going to lose some weight, or I'm going to eat more healthy. But what does it really mean for a court reporter? I think a lot of what we do that's really unhealthy is just sitting all day. And there are a lot of articles about the fact that sitting is the new smoking. And I was doing some research earlier today, and I was reading that people who sit between 8 to 11 hours a day are at high risk of developing heart disease, diabetes, your glute muscles, your leg muscles atrophy, particularly after a long period of time. I've been doing this for 40 years. And so you really need to start paying attention from the beginning of your court reporting career or anytime throughout your career, and pay attention to your body. So what does that mean? I know I have a very, very bad habit when we have a break after, let's say, an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours of testimony. The witnesses we'll ask for a break, the attorneys will go off the record, and everybody takes a break, but I will sit there and I will try to find the exhibit that has that name that I want to get into my job dictionary, or figure out what phrase they keep saying that I don't know how to stroke because I'm not sure what they're saying. And so 10 minutes will go past and everybody sits back in the chair, get ready to get back on the record, and I have not stood up. And sometimes I'm sad to say that could happen during the first break and the second break. I'm so busy trying to edit my transcript. And so by the third break, I could barely stand up because I'm so stiff, and everything, I can hardly get out of the chair or be straight. So my resolution is going to be, and I am not kidding, at the first minute, the moment they say we are off the record, I'm going to stand up. And if I don't need to go to the restroom, I'm going to at least start doing some stretching. And I'm going to, and I've been doing this the last couple of weeks, just run in place for a solid minute. And usually no one's in the room, so it's not embarrassing. But if someone does walk back in the room and they see me, I just say, I need to do this for my body. And they totally understand. Attorneys need to be doing that for their body. They too are lots of time and pain because they sit so much. So my resolution for 2 minutes, the first 2 minutes of every break, is to exercise in some way, walk to the bathroom, run in place, do something. The other 8 minutes, fine, okay, fine, go edit your transcript. But I think if I do that, it's going to go a long way, not only telling my own body that I do care about it, and so that, it can work, but also it actually sends a message maybe to the attorneys and the other people about how hard court reporters do work, and they appreciate appreciate you even more because they see that you need to actually stretch and run around a little bit to be able to do your job and take your breaks.
It might even score you a few more breaks if they see you stretching. It sort of reminds them that you've got a tough job. You're holding your body in a static position, and that stretching is much appreciated. So might score a few more breaks that way. And I really love the analogy of thinking of your body as being your most important business tool or piece of equipment, even more than your steno machine, your camera, your computers. Because without a healthy body, you cannot do this job. Well, at least not easily and not without pain. So we do need to treat it as a very expensive, very important business tool. So I think getting into court reporter healthy bodies is a phenomenal resolution for 2024. So let's just real quickly recap our top 2024 resolutions. Number 5, declutter your court reporting life. Number 4, get fiscally fit. Number 3, become a positive influencer. Number 2, set a big audacious goal for the year. And number 1, stretch your way to health, happiness, and success in this new year. Rosalie, thanks for all those amazing pointers. Any parting thoughts?
Yes, Jan, I truly wish everybody a really wonderful, happy, successful, healthy 2024. And I want you to know that Jan and I truly enjoy giving these Depo Talks because we really want to help our peers and everyone out there. So if there's anything you want us to explore in 2024, please let us know, because we are here to serve you. And I just wish you all the very best and the best new year 2024.
That is so true and well said, Rosalie. Thank you so much. Friends, that will do it for this edition of Depo Talk Holiday Edition. Happy New Year. And again, let's stay healthy and positive out there. We'll see you next time.
Jan, we're off the record.
Depo Talk, Depo Talk, another topic broken down on Depo Talk.